Hi, everyone. Lisa Haven here. And there is so much stuff happening with the economy right now. Since the beginning of this year, we've had nearly 50 million people out of work. And while the government is talking about 4.8 million jobs being added, the truth of the matter is, with all these lockdowns, that's not all the facts that you are getting. So in today's report, I really want to hone in on what those secrets are that are privy to those who actually study the economy for a living, and just kind of get those secrets out to the public, because our economy is crashing. Take a look at some of these articles on here. Reuters.com, New York Fed's Williams says full recovery will likely take years. ZeroHedge.com, stunning surge in new CMBS delinquencies heralds commercial real estate disaster. CCN.com, Dr. Doom called 2007's housing market crash, and here he is with a chilling new warning. And that new warning comes from Bloomberg. Dr. Doom predicts another decade of depression. So lots happening. We have talk of our housing market going berserk. We have our people being laid off. We have talks of lockdown. So with me, I wanted to bring on an expert from noblegoldinvestments.com. So are you with me over there, Colin?
Yes, Lisa, thank you. Yeah, no, a lot, obviously a mouthful. There's a lot happening in the news, and, hard to really know which way things are going, because you see this jobs report that looks positive, and obviously the stock market's going to react to those things. But the bigger picture is a lot of those jobs were jobs from 30 days ago when we thought things were opening back up, and obviously a lot of states are closing back down. So I don't think it's a real true indicator of job growth. And 1.5 million of the 4 million jobs they added are in the hospitality sector, which I think most people think is really in trouble, especially for this year. I don't think we're going to see as much travel as we've seen in the past. I don't think we're going to see as many people going to restaurants for a while. So I don't think that jobless number. And let's be honest, even 11%, those are close to depressionary numbers. Even 11%, which is better than where it's been, are still, the numbers are really atrocious. And you also look at, how many people are actually just not even trying to get jobs anymore. People that are just see that the economy is not good. They don't think that their industry is going to come back. So they've just fallen off the numbers altogether, which is sort of scary. But I mean, I know people, I have friends that are out of work, and they just say, they're either in the entertainment business, and they just say, well, why even go out and try to get a job? Because my industry is decimated right now.
Oh, I know. I have a couple of teenage daughters that one of them has been laid off from her job, and the other one can't find a job, because everything's so topsy-turvy. And that's just not the case with teenagers. That's everyone, like in these hospitality industries or the restaurant industry. I mean, so many of them, you name it, are getting attacked. But what I am absolutely seeing is the destruction of the small business, the destruction of your small restaurant owners, your small business owners, and they're getting obliterated and wiped out because a lot of them cannot go through this secondary lockdown. I have talked to hundreds of business owners, and they'll email me and say, I can't survive another lockdown. I don't know what I'm going to do. My business is done. But who survives? The billionaires, the big corporations. So this to me is signaling a straight up takeover of our whole system, pitting a rich class with the poor class and making everyone who basically had their business that they started because of capitalism, which is an amazing system when it doesn't go crony. We now have us headed straight for socialism.
Yeah, and obviously a lot of people saw those reports where you have all the billionaires and own a lot of Amazon, and they're making more money than ever, and so it's a sort of sad state of affairs that the regular person that went out and took the risk, put their money behind it, and now they're sort of in limbo because they really can't get out there and work. Coupled with the fact that, obviously the other thing that's hurting people is not being able to send their kids to camp or to school, which makes it hard for them to work on a day-to-day basis because, a lot of people have kids and, they don't always have access to drop their kids off somewhere. So there's a lot of those factors happening right now. And I think what you're looking at is this economy, the stock market is being propped up with all this sort of cheap money that's out there. The Fed just keeps dropping rates. You saw mortgage rates just drop again below 3%. I mean, they're literally sort of throwing the kitchen sink to try to prop up this economy. And I think a lot of people, fundamentalists, believe that it's almost in some ways it's better to let it just crash the way it should crash and not just have just cheap money out there, because it really there is a repercussion to having all this cheap money. And now I'm not saying we don't give stimulus to businesses, but I think we've propped up the real estate market with a long time with all this really low interest rates. And I think eventually we need to have more of a normal sort of economy so that people can know where things stand. Also, the fact that you can't make any return in a savings account like you used to. I mean, you probably remember 20 years ago, you could make 10, 11, 12% putting money in the bank. I mean, those days are gone. So everything that is encouraged out there, you have to, unfortunately or fortunately, you have to risk. You have to put money in investments. And, these billionaires are doing it and they're seeing the profits, these big profits. But what do regular Americans do if they have their nest egg, or where do they look to get that kind of safe haven return? And that's the big question that I think you and I are getting on a day-to-day basis.
So what is the answer to that question? I know you guys offer at noblegoldinvestments.com, you guys have your IRAs, and right now you're giving this awesome coin. By the way, I still have it in my hand because I just love it, but for the qualified IRAs. But I mean, I know there's ways that we can make money and benefit, and I know you help with some of that. So how can we benefit and not get stuck in the cold?
Yeah, I think right now is a good time to look at your options. I think that we are seeing, gold has obviously performed really well, but silver is tremendously undervalued. I think it's sort of a sleeping giant just in terms of all the industrial uses. I mean, you see it every day. You see it in the news, something new that they use silver in. So I think silver is a real bargain right now. Gold is that safe haven investment. Obviously, central banks continue to buy it. And Bank of America thinks it's going to hit $3,000 an ounce in the next 16 months. So there's a lot of upside in the metals area. And that's typically what people do, because right now, let's be honest, it doesn't matter what happens. We're going to have, whether Dr. Doom is right, it's going to be 10 years, or maybe he overestimates, maybe it's only 2 to 3 years. We're in for some trouble right now. Things are not going to get better. It's going to get worse before it gets better. We have the flu season coming up. I mean, this whole year is just going to be a wash in terms of earnings. So I think people are going to basically sort of hunker down. They're going to try to find work that, can cover themselves. And then maybe they have a 401k or an IRA and they can look at gold as a safe haven option. And we help people with that. And I will tell you, if you look at all the investments in the world, you're looking at like a $4.5 trillion just global market. And if people start to move into gold and silver in waves, that market, that 4.5 trillion, only 1%, a little less than 1% of it is actually in gold and silver. So if that market starts to move, if we start to see a lot of institutional demand in gold and silver, you will be surprised how quickly the price will go up, because we really don't have enough of it. I mean, you read stories over the last few months where people could not get gold and silver. Luckily, we were able to get metals to people, but a lot of companies didn't have gold and silver, and that's with a slight surge. I mean, if we see a real surge in metals where the market, that 1%, let's say it goes to 2%, people are dumping equities, they're getting out of bonds, even from 1% to 2%, I can tell you this, there will not be enough gold and silver. The $3,000 estimate that Bank of America said will be conservative, and the wave will be really aggressive in this sector, because it just makes sense that they're pushing interest rates down 2.9% in a mortgage, savings account 0.5%. What are you going to do? This year you would have made almost 14% in gold. At least you got a return that you can be satisfied with.
Yeah, I know. And well, here's another point. I know I've been a big supporter in gold, silver, precious metals pretty much my whole life, because I've always seen the benefit, and my dad's kind of educated me on that. And even, from now I see all the benefits, and now seeing the economy where we are at, I know a lot of people are, have dropped some on their 401ks and, really suffering in that area, which is why I purposefully partner with you guys, because you can convert those and make those into something more backed by the precious metals, the gold, the silvers, and I think you even have Bitcoin options and whatnot is right. But it's just, seeing everything happen right now, it's almost surreal to see our freedoms ripping away out of our hands, to see our economy, which you and I warned for the past couple of years. Even when President Trump got in, we both said they're going to try to crash the economy under President Trump. And lo and behold, we were right. And so a lot of what you have said, I have said, has already come to pass. And I think that's an important, critical point as well for everyone listening.
Yeah, absolutely. And while we're here, Lisa, there's a lot of people have been talking. There's a big report about this Chinese company that created these fraudulent gold bars. So I just want to kind of get this out there that this has happened before in the industry. This company in China, basically, they tried to get a number of loans from banks. They were able to do it. Then they started to have some problems, and the bank said, "Okay, we're going to go ahead and turn this gold in." And turns out this gold is fake. A huge scandal in China, and this is not the first time that's happened. Just want to let everybody know, Noble Gold, we test everything. All of our metals are tested. They all come from all the major mints, all the major suppliers. And every time we get something, everything is verified and tested. So rest assured, we do that. We make sure that it's all protected. But that's part of the reason that you want to go with someone like us when you're buying these things, is because a lot of people don't take that extra step. I mean, think about this company that loaned this company, we're talking like hundreds of millions of dollars based on some gold that they never tested. I mean, it blows my mind, first of all. But second of all, you got to make sure that you go with a reputable dealer that makes sure that they take all these precautions. And we absolutely.
Awesome. Well, tell them about the special with the coin here. I'll put it on camera.
Yeah. So that's the 5-ounce America the Beautiful coin. One of the most popular coins. It's sold by the U.S. Mint in a limited supply. They started it in 2011. You can see on one side of the coin, it looks like a quarter, and then the other side is going to be some kind of national park. And the proceeds from that coin actually go towards that location. So it's a great way to raise money. They only make 30 to 32,000 of that specific coin, which in the grand scheme of coins is a very small amount. So they actually have a limited supply. So what we're doing is anyone that's been on the fence, hey, I don't know if I'm ready, maybe this offer will kind of push them over and get them excited about it. So if you have a qualified IRA, you get started in the month of July, just make sure you say you heard about it on the Lisa Haven show. You're going to get that coin sent to your house for free as a way to kind of get you excited. It's $150 value. 5-ounce coin. As you can see in Lisa's hand, it's a big, beautiful coin. So for anybody on the fence, that's a little something extra to get you excited about it.
Perfect. And if you guys want to contact him, if you'd share all your contact information, that'd be good too.
Yeah, 877-646-5347, or you can check us out at noblegoldinvestments.com.
Perfect. And I will leave all that information in the description box below. Anyhow, thanks again, all of you guys, for tuning in. I'm Lisa Haven, and that was Colin Plume signing out.